Taurus, this is part 2 of your video, which I will put the link, I will put the title that part 2 will be in the description of this video. But yeah, you're not deceiving yourself anymore. You're not deceiving yourself anymore when it comes to just protecting your star. Everybody is a star in their own right, right? Meaning that everybody has a purpose. And so when you got to get to a point where people are throwing up in your face, I had your back, but you didn't have mine when I needed you. When it comes to family, okay, did you have my back because you wanted to have my back, or you had my back because you were going to one day throw it up in my face? I'm trying to gain some clarity here. And I'm not saying this to be sarcastic. I'm serious, because you really want to know where this thought process is coming from. Like, this is not like I had your back when somebody was bullying you on the school grounds when we was kids, and now you need to have my back and look out for me. When you're clearly saying, I'm trying to protect the sanctity of my relationship, and you're making somebody feel unsafe here. You're overstepping boundaries. You're making somebody feel unsafe. I don't want that to be a part of my legacy. That's why I'm telling y'all. That's why some people, they zone out of relationships. They don't want to be a part of that. Somebody couldn't speak up for them on their behalf. So somebody's no longer going to be dating people that represent their shadow self. Yeah. If you know what works for you, then you know what works for you. Like, if you know what works for you, if you feel like you want to be in a relationship with a person who is going to be okay with your new energy, your new love, only you know. If you feel like somebody wants to be invited to certain things and they want to be around your family, and so that's great. But I'm telling y'all, some people have been so traumatized during their pregnancy that for them it was just a bad experience. Because that's supposed to be a happy time when you're pregnant, right? Whether you're planted the seed or whether you were on the receiving mode of the seed. Y'all get the point what I'm saying here. Some people's pregnancy experience was so traumatic because they had to deal with the being attacked by family members, their side, or no support, or your side, or whoever to pray. They don't want to be bothered. They just don't want to be bothered. All kinds of lines were crossed. All kinds of lines were crossed. And being in this place right here could be, and stress could kill a husband or a wife or whoever, man or woman. Stress could kill somebody. And to give birth, to bring life into the world is already a sacred time. But it can also cause a person to die. It can cause kids to be born prematurely. Their brain's not developing totally. Certain parts of their body hasn't developed totally because of so much stress. And that's why some people don't want to be bothered. Some people do not want to be bothered. Somebody's child was supposed to be born on a particular date, but they were born early. So much stress could kill somebody. Or kill the relationship, for real. Like in that movie, Brokeback Mountain, where the father, he thought because he owned several dealerships. Y'all got to see that part of the movie where the father, he didn't start cutting a turkey, letting the son be disrespectful to the person in their own home. Just doing the absolute most. The daughter, because he was paying the bills. And so some families feel like because they're paying the bills and because they're doing X, Y, and Z, they can overstep a boundary and end up, in some cases, may have ended up making somebody lose a child, a couple lose a child, because they don't know how to respect boundaries. That's why some relationships will never be repairable. They will never, you would never go back to your ex because of how you were treated. Your ex may not ever come back to you because of how they were treated. Yeah, so people are retreating. People are retreating so they can move on with their life. This you, right here, right? Somebody could have thought somebody was playing mind games at first, but somebody's now taking one last look back and moving on. Taking one last look back and moving on. Because at first somebody thought somebody was it's two sides of the story, somebody playing mind games and blah, blah, blah. Somebody is so crystal clear, it's not even funny. You taking one last look back and see how these people are retreating? Somebody is now going on to Six of Swords. It is crystal clear. When you're about to give birth and you got to give premature birth to a child who may not be fully developed, because family members are stressing people out to the highest level of stress, or your marriage is on the rocks, where somebody seems like they half there in a relationship, they don't really respond to people, whatever, because they sitting there watching the relationship go down the drain. There's no way in the world somebody would want to go back to that. And it doesn't matter how long. They don't want to, not in this lifetime. No. So yeah, and then to add insult to injury, what some people do is to go right in. They go into bullying people, lowering their abundance and their prosperity, calling them all kinds of garden tools, you know, doing everything they could possibly do to link up with people to try to make them feel worse. Who is getting into those kind of relationships? Who is getting into those kind of relationships? So some people are turning away. Some people are moving on. And Source is balancing some things out. Who wants to go through another humiliation ritual? That's a humiliation ritual where somebody, oh yeah, you know, they out here. Somebody could have been married 5 times, right? Could have been married, could have been like the woman at the well, right? And somebody could have been, like I said, it's 2 sides of the sword. And so somebody wants you, oh, you know, they walked away from me and so on and so forth and this and that. So it's still bullying people. And what would make a person want to go back to being bullied? Where people lower their abundance and their prosperity and trying to lower their self-worth. Who wants to go back to that kind of relationship where somebody's wearing a mask? No, you don't need the mask. Take the mask off. Mask off. Mask off for real. Like mask off. So new level weights. New level weights. That would be literally sending somebody back into a lion's den. But my family has changed. They said that a long time ago. You wouldn't even care. You'd be like, no, that's your, you fixate. You're like, no, you're fixed on. You're like, no. Because the first time they say something and you act like you didn't hear something, guess what? It's a waste of my time. I could have been at home working on something. I could have been making money. I could have been in class learning some new skill. I could have been doing something else. But here we go again, sitting there in zombie 5 mode. You ain't hearing, oh, you just nitpicking. Okay, well, whatever. Yeah, you walking away from cold-hearted people. Now somebody in hindsight is starting to see. Somebody in hindsight now, if it's you, somebody looking at you like, man, in hindsight, I wish I had checked my family a long time ago. Instead of you looking at it as like, I was so patient with this person. Because that's what somebody basically, I was so patient with this person. Now you're saying, you know what, I would have checked my family a whole long. If I had known, if I had eyes in the back of my head, I'm trying to be patient with everybody. Some people ain't coming in like that. Some people like, look, they already had to deal with it in their own family. There's no way they're going to deal with somebody else's family. A person knows when they feel safe. They know when they're in an environment and they feel safe. So you're learning how to be more conservative with your time. Somebody is paying attention. See this right here? It's not about getting a paycheck. This right here is paying attention to people who are gifted and talented. This is about paying attention. Everybody has gifts and talents, but somebody is now starting to pay attention. Like really, really pay attention. Somebody's being more conservative with their time, and now that light is really shining on. What the devil does is shine a light first on your temptations, but then it turns around and looks at everybody else's temptations. You can't point a finger at somebody else without 4 pointing back at you. 3 or 4 pointing back at you, right? And that's what Source is trying to tell somebody. Is like, don't deceive yourself at all when it comes to families doing all this messing up your relationships. Nah, that's the product of your intelligent decision. Then check them. Let them know, hey, look, no. Because somebody, you're looking at a relationship from your past as like somebody just wanted you for money. It was just a transaction for them, right? That is extremely hurtful to say you love somebody and then they were just using you for money. Don't let that happen again. That's their love language. If that's their love language, let it be their love language, okay? But not in your energetic field. You're not in your auric layer, right? And if their love language was something else, that's what you talk to people up front about. What is your love language? And here's my love language, right? But if you're already in it, I feel like somebody is now going to start paying more attention. Okay, my person doesn't feel safe around these people. They just attacking people. They just saying any old kind of thing. Let me get them to safety. They don't feel safe around them. So yeah, so something could have felt like it blindsided you before, but I'm telling you, you were hearing voices. Your ancestors was like, okay, clean this up now. You know, that was your ancestors talking to you. That was your memory from the past. Like, okay, you starting to remember something now about how your family treats exes. How your family treats exes and how their family treats exes. That's why some people cut off their entire family, because some people still keep in contact with their ex's family and their exes, no matter how painful a relationship was. That's why some people will cut their entire family off. They don't want to have nothing to do with them because they didn't feel safe around them. If I found out any of my family members was in a situation that they didn't feel safe with their person, their ex can 100%, not 99%, their ex could 100% count on that they never can speak to me. I don't care if I don't talk to that family member, but if I found out that they didn't feel safe with that person, don't even look at me. Don't even speak to me because I don't know you. I don't know you. But some of these people, they don't feel safe with their own family, their own moms and dads, because their own moms and dads still keeping in contact with exes. Making situations, I mean, you see comedy, like people do like comedy stuff on social media, but that is stressful. That is stressful. That's stress on you, stress on what you're trying to grow, just stressful. That's not insecurity, that's very secure. But somebody is making a very powerful transformation. And you're setting very clear boundaries. You're setting very clear boundaries, right? I'm trying to tell y'all, somebody else's person is not your soulmate. They're not your soulmate. They're not your twin flame. They not. People can be delusional all day long because somebody's being friendly or being nice. They can be delusional all day long, but somebody else's spouse is not your twin flame, okay? Don't be talking about I had a dream about, I know they married to somebody, but, God showed you. God was like, you know what? Don't put me in that. Stop lying on God. I just saw myself, I could do a much better job. Some people are so delusional, it's not even funny, y'all. Why in the world would you want... Yeah, anyway. Yeah. Some people, like I said before, looking at your cars here, some people don't have a problem overstepping boundaries, but it's layers to it. Some people will lie. Some people will lie. They won't wear their marriage ring. They won't tell people that they got kids, in another place. They won't tell them people that they're paying child support for other kids. They'll do all kinds of stuff. And then when somebody finds out and in the situation, all of a sudden they the bad person. Okay, well, you should have been honest up front. Yeah, but somebody is learning how to walk away from these cold-blooded, cold-hearted people, and you're learning how to enforce very strict boundaries. You have gone through a very powerful transformation. That's why somebody's financial situation has taken a significant dip, because of the energies that you're linking, so that somebody is linking up with. But that's why your money is about to change big time, because somebody is not playing about. You're not playing about, because people had a first impression of you, and this is a lot of people had a first impression of some people that, and everybody's talking, this person, they want to be in somebody else's position or whatever. Personally, like I said, don't invite me. Don't invite me. I'm not trying to kiki in an ex's face. In your new person's face. I'm just not. That's not insecure at all, because guess what? I don't want you to be kikiing in my person's face. Set some boundaries. Somebody has to set some boundaries with your family first. Whoever the family is, get them straight. Like, these family members be bugging. Some people's family members are out of control. They really, really are. They will lower your abundance and your prosperity while just having one conversation over in the corner talking to your new person about your ex. Lower your abundance and prosperity. Right now you're in the car with your person, y'all on y'all way home, and the person is halfway listening to what you're saying because a seed was planted. So yeah, somebody regrets lying to you about something. You versus you. It's you versus you. Who has time for those kind of games? They stressful. Those games are stressful. That's what I have for you. Hopefully this is helpful. But congratulations on whoever is either growing their family with a new baby, or, growing your business, and it's growing abundance and prosperity, sending lots of love and light to everybody. But y'all know my assignment is to take it all the way down to the lowest frequency and to shine a light as a lighthouse and bring it back up to a higher frequency to let people know, hey, this is where you are enforcing boundaries. You are really enforcing boundaries. Let people know, hey, that relationship is over. Because these same energies will tell people, oh, I know this about, do they know this about you? Do they know about your new person? Do they know this about you? Do they know that about you? In other words, they threatening you. Really what they're doing is threatening you. I wonder if they know this, if they knew this about you, how they would still feel about you. You don't have to operate in fear. 801, soul renovation. You're shedding the past. You're awakening to your truth. So this says your angels know that you have been through many trials and tribulations, Taurus. And so now is the time to put down the armor that helped you survive those trials and live freely. The door has opened to your new life. Sit in meditation and envision yourself walking through a doorway. Behind you lies the past, and ahead of you lies a future where you are living your truth. And so what do you see? Draw or journal about what is on the other side of the doorway. Yeah. Somebody is getting laser focused. You don't want to be in any more karmic relationships, period. Okay, where you're absorbing other people's karma and don't even realize it. And you can't figure out for the life of you why you keep having tower moments. Even if that means, okay, if you're single, I need to stay by myself for a while. I need to stay by myself for a while until I can figure this thing out, because I'm trying to break a generational cycle, chain, and curse. I need this is the Fool card, and this is the Magician card. I need to get strong and getting focused. Tap into my inner strength. I need to leave behind a bunch of distractions, because I'm embarking on a whole new self-love journey. I'm inspiring myself. I don't need to be blowtorched under my hooves by other people who are basically telling you to lower somebody else's abundance and prosperity to increase yours. Somebody's dealing with a fire sign. Somebody dealing with a fire sign who just keeps blowtorching you under your hooves. Basically telling you need to lower somebody's abundance and prosperity to increase yours. No, you do not. You need to draw a very firm boundary and enforce that boundary. Because what could happen, let's say you were the person who was disrespected or dismissed by someone else's family. They're trying to pull out the dark side of you. That's what these energies are trying to do. They're trying to pull out the dark side of you, because people want to just poke and poke and poke and poke and poke. And then now they can justify why. See, we told you. Right? They just want to poke and poke and poke and poke and poke. And so, or even on the other side, if it's your person who says, no, thank you, y'all go ahead and have some fun, they don't want to be bothered. They don't want to be bothered with that. Something was very traumatic in a pregnancy. Something was very, very traumatic in a pregnancy. So no, somebody would just rather just be done. Cut ties. We're not talking about being invited to someone's wedding. Like if you have kids and your kids are getting married, you on one side, they on the other side, whatever the case may be. Somebody don't want to be bothered. You don't want to be bothered with somebody. They don't want to be bothered with you. And that's just the end of that. Because somebody's family did not stick up for somebody where somebody didn't feel safe. Somebody didn't feel protected, and somebody didn't feel safe. And I would respect that. If that were me, if somebody says, I don't feel safe around your family, I would say, you know what? I got your back. You don't feel safe. You don't feel safe. So somebody's going through a very powerful transformation. And you can't tell a person how they feel when they know what feels safe for them, what environment feels safe for them. I would never force somebody into a lion's den where people looking them up and down and trying stuff and trying to be slick at the mouth and keeping a bunch of craziness going because somebody feels like maybe you put some fire up under them, maybe such and such and such, and people are leaving. People are no longer going to be using your words against you. People are moving on. So that's what I have for you. Hopefully this is helpful. is if somebody thought you were playing mind games or you thought they were playing mind games, it's very clear now. It is it's crystal clear. It's crystal clear of what ended something. Somebody did not feel safe during you didn't feel safe or they didn't feel safe during the pregnancy. It's crystal clear. So it's not something you can go back and change, correct, fix, nothing. So if you're in a new situation, take heed. That's what I have for you. Hopefully this is helpful. See you all in the next video. Bye.